Chapter 13, The Eye of the Hurricane. She called out from us from the kitchen that we wanted to go back into the living room. When we got there, Aunt Gloria had finished her brandy and was staring at the bottom of the glass, and her lips were turned down, which I think meant she was sad, and her eyebrows were hunched together, which meant she was also cross. Inspector Pierce rose to her feet and promised to let us know if there were any news. Then she said there was one last thing. Did Aunt Gloria have a photo of Salim? Aunt Gloria took a credit card holder out of her handbag. I've only got this, she said. It's a bit old. The rest are in photo albums. They're on their way to New York. She handed the picture over. Your son is 13, you say? Aunt Gloria nodded. 14 in July. How old is he in this? 8, said Aunt Gloria. The inspector said the police would need something more up to date. Aunt Gloria said, you can get something from his father when you contact him. I remembered Salim's father, only barely. He was an Indian man called Rashid, and he'd worked as a doctor. Aunt Gloria and him had divorced years ago. Shouldn't you call Rashid Glow? Mum said. You never know, Salim might have gone there. It is possible. Aunt Gloria shook her head. Salim would never do that. Besides, Rashid and I are not on speaking terms. Salim goes there every other weekend, and that is it. Inspector Pierce examined a knuckle on her hand as if there was something wrong with it, but I could see no cuts or bruises. And what did he think, your former husband, she said, about Salim and you going to New York? Aunt Gloria didn't reply. He must have said something about it. Not a lot. I said he could have Salim for 2 weeks at Christmas and in summer, and that seemed fine by him. There was another silence. Who knows, Aunt Gloria added. Maybe he does have something to do with this. That's why you're driving at, isn't it? Inspector Pierce tucked the snapshot into his pocket and didn't answer Aunt Gloria's question. This and your description will do for now. She stood up. This is my card and my direct phone number. I'll leave it here on the mantelpiece. If Salim comes home or gets in touch, or if you have any further thoughts, call me. Aunt Gloria shrugged and said nothing, but Dad said we would. Then he showed her and the other policeman to the front door and they left. I watched from the window as they got into the white and blue police car and drove away. Mum asked Kat to help her prepare some sandwiches. Aunt Gloria had another brandy. Dad came back and opened a bottle of wine. That made it just like it was Christmas. Except it was getting late and it was still light outside and nobody was telling jokes or acting jolly. Do you mind if I smoke? Said Aunt Gloria. Nobody answered. She took the silence as permission and lit up a cigarette and sat puffing in silence, even after Kat put a plate with cheese and lettuce sandwiches on her lap. She stared into space, inhaling and exhaling. Apart from her arm travelling with the cigarette holder up to her lips on average every 12 seconds, she was still. It was a strange silence. I realised that ever since Aunt Gloria had arrived in our house, she'd hardly stopped talking or moving. Well, said Mum, after everybody had munched on what they could of their sandwiches. Me 2, Dad 2, Mum 1, Kat half, Aunt Gloria none. Well, said Dad, I almost expected him to say, another fine mess, but he didn't. How was work today, Ben? Mum said. It was a question she asked him every day. Work? Said Dad. He shrugged. OK, the barracks is empty now and all locked up. The concrete crushers go in on Thursday. I've got a new job on now, down Peckham Way. Peckham Way? Said Mum. She didn't look that interested. Her eyes stared off into space. Peckham Rye? There was another long silence. Kat kept winding a strand of hair around her little finger and then unwinding it. I wanted to ask her what she was trying to achieve, but she saw me looking at her and scrunched up her face. So instead I said, about Salim. Everyone started. I've got some interesting theories which might... Hush, love, Mum said. This isn't a time for your theories. A deep silence fell on the living room after that. I heard the whir of the central heating. A kitchen tap dripped. Dad jangled some change in his pocket. I wondered what the silence was in weather terms. It was hardly the calm after the storm. Perhaps it was a calm in the centre of a storm, the eye of the hurricane. I imagined a whirlwind, dark and swift, and in the middle of it, a gentle oval-shaped stillness shaped like a bicycle wheel, seen from an angle, the London Eye. Mum shuffled her feet. The central heating stopped whirring. Mum said it was time to go off to bed. It's only 9 o'clock, Kat protested. Anyway, I'm here on the couch, remember? That's enough, Kat. Mum got up and walked over to the window and looked out. She drew the curtains. This once you can sleep in Ted's room on the Lilo where Salim... She didn't finish her sentence, but we all did in our heads. Where Salim slept last night. Aunt Gloria gave a low moan and leaned over her drink as if she felt ill. We were all thinking the same thought. Where in this big, dark, dangerous city was Salim going to sleep tonight?